Hi everybody, welcome to this general playthrough on the brand new Sierra Plateau course for the Spring Major 2023, looking at Rookie Division. Please give me a thumb up on the video if you can, and if you're new here, a very warm welcome, and if you're not a subscriber, please hit that button. It's totally free and would help me get to a milestone of 20,000 subscribers. Looking at all holes here on this course, general wind directions, with some suggestions of routes and adjustments you may need to make, but these will need to be tweaked depending on the wind angles we get in the tournament. As always on the channel, rookie content here using true rookie level clubs. Hope it helps. Please share the video if so. Here we go with hole number 1. Good luck. On this par 4, I'm going to suggest you play down the left-hand side because it gives you a shorter and slightly easier approach, but obviously if you don't fancy that, then you can play on the right-hand side instead, but you will have a long iron to the green rather than a short iron. For topspin, 1 bar side spin to the left. We don't need a high power ball here really. A navigator is fine in this wind angle, but if having more crosswind or headwind, then you might want to go with a power 2 or power 3 ball. Playing with the extra mile, and we're going to adjust max distance, 10% elevation. Going with a little bit of curl to the left just to counter the wind push, which is going to take us, of course, to the right according to the wind arrow, and hit perfect. Very important to get a perfect ball away here. Fairways are a little bit narrow, so just concentrate on hitting perfect, and we're getting this one towards the end of the fairway, around 345 yards. For the second shot, I'm going to play this one according to where I am with my club distance. You can see I'm finding the max line there and then finding the minimum distance line. I estimate this to be around mid distance of club, and I'm going to play 30% elevation in this wind angle. As you can see, the ball guide dropping down quite a bit there, so it is a little bit downhill, which is why we're playing with a bit more elevation than usual. No spin, aim at the pin, but of course leave the ball guide slightly short because we haven't got a full ball guide with this thorn level with Rookie Division. And you're going to have rollout that isn't shown, so make sure you are leaving the ball guide short of pin, especially if you've got a little bit of tailwind. Mid plus 30 here, just missing to the right, but a very good speed for an attempt at the eagle. On this par 3, you're always going to be wanting to play with a side spin 2 ball, so I would recommend the Quasar, and we're going to bounce off the pad here on the right hand side. And it's going to be around 1.5 to 2 backspin, might be slightly varying depending on the wind angle. Actually here I'm playing with less than that, but always going to need around 1.5 to 2 left spin. Backspin going to vary. Here you can see I played with around 1 bar of backspin. More tailwind I go nearer to 2, and more headwind you would probably not need any backspin at all. Aim at the pin as best you can. There is a very small sticky spot there which we want to try and land in with our second bounce, and the adjustment is mid plus 20. Of course the difficult thing is with rookie especially is lining up because you don't have a full ball guide, but this shot should work nicely in all wind angles, just missing on the right side there for the hole-in-one, but a very nice speed with mid plus 20. On this par 5, the general play is going to be down the long fairway on the right. There are more aggressive shots to the middle, but in most wind angles, the right side will be the general play for rookies. We're going with a katana for the side spin, 4.5 top spin, 3 bars of right spin, and then here you've got, after the drive, you will have 2 options that you can choose from for your second shot. I'll talk you through them. In the end, I just go with one of them though. The adjustment on the drive, max plus 10. If you have headwind, then I would recommend you go with a power 3 ball so that you're not needing to overpower this shot and reduce the risk of hitting a great ball, because as on other holes with this course, fairways are a little bit narrow. The best attempt for the albatross is bouncing on this small patch of fairway, but I'm showing you here quickly with the wood club. If you don't want to do the bounce over, just play yourself with backspin and left spin and left curl and reach the greens safely. But like I say, if you want to be a bit more aggressive, pack the Goliath, because otherwise you might be in between clubs with the backbone. And then going to be minimal spin required, not really any side spin at all, perhaps a small amount of top spin or backspin. Aim at the pin as best you can, and then I'm playing this one maximum distance, 10% elevation. As always, try and aim as accurately as you can with the ball guide that you have. And then we're going to centre the ball and hit perfect. Of course, like I said, a couple of other options available if you want to try them, but this is going to give you the best opportunity. Driving down the right hand side at least, playing for the Albatross, coming in very, very nicely, just a little bit short of pace. On this par 3, you've got to deal with a lot of elevation, bouncing down from the fairway. You can see that big second bounce down past the rocks and the sand towards the green, and this is going to require more adjustment. Definitely going to need top spin here. 2 bars of top spin in level crosswind. I would go 3 bars of top spin in headwind and slightly less than 2, maybe 1 to 1.5 in tailwind angles. Once again, try and aim at the pin as best you can with the ball guide you have available, and here I'm bouncing halfway into that fairway pad from the top to the bottom. I'm going to adjust this one medium distance, 30% elevation. Make sure if you have headwind you've got enough topspin on, because with that ball in the air a long time between the first and the second bounce, the wind will have a lot of opportunity to alter the flight path of the ball, so we don't want to come in too short. Take a token or two, get yourself safely to green. It can be very tough to get a hole in one on this par 3, but thankfully here we've got a very good look at it, and we just drop it on the left hand side. Plenty of trees to contend with here, but still a very, very safe route through them. I would suggest playing here on this kind of right hand half of the left hand fairway with a katana, because you'll need the side spin. Definitely going to need 3 right spin, and then not too much top spin because you don't want to overshoot, and you want to give yourself room on the fairway. So I'm just going with the yellow ring touching the rough on the right, adjusting medium distance, 10% elevation, and playing with half a ball of curl. The alternative is you drive down the right hand side. It is a straighter drive, doesn't need any curl, but is still a narrow fairway, and you've got to hit perfect. The disadvantage with the right hand side is your approach shot is a bit further away, and it is slightly uphill. From the left hand side here though, playing true club distance, 0 elevation. You can see there is a glitchy ball guide though, so make sure you avoid any glitch spots. Work out where you are between min and max, and then play accordingly. So if you think you're at mid club, play mid numbers, 0 elevation. If you were near a max from a short drive, of course, you would play nearer to max distance numbers. So true club distance, TC on the notepad. Maybe needing some backspin if you get glitch spots, but if not, try and go no spin. Perfect ball away, and you've got a very good chance here with a nice green for the eagle. Quick break to tell you about our Patreon packages, low cost monthly packages to unlock loads of bonus weekly content if you want to support the free channel here on YouTube. We're going to look at some of the things you can have early access to our new club guide series with charts and explanations on what to upgrade and when. I have a terminology video explaining some of the terms I use on my guides here on the YouTube channel, and also shootout sheets for Checkpoint Challenge and Tour Play, amongst other things such as win charts for tournaments. So plenty there if you want to get involved. This hole is all about securing the eagle. Even though there's so many patches of fairway, a drive down the left hand side is going to be tricky for rookie clubs, so in the end I go with a Titan, and I'm going to play safely onto this final patch of fairway on the right. I packed the big dog here, but I didn't need it in the end. I went with the Viper, so just to have that said. Power 3 ball is good because you're not needing overpower, and we're going with no spin in this wind angle, little less tailwind. You would need maybe a smidge of top spin, but you want to see that first bounce about 1 ring over the fairway there. In headwind, I would recommend you play with a Kingmaker. Try and reach over there if you can. If you want to lay up before that patch of fairway though, then in that case you would need the big dog to get to the green in 2. Perfect ball away, max plus 10 is the adjustment here, and we just want to play a very safe bounce over, clearing the rough nicely and not threatening the end, but we are approaching the end of the fairway around 325 yards. With our second shot, we can play with the Viper or whatever wood club gives you plenty of backspin. Here I go with 3.5 backspin, 2 left spin, Set yourself up away from the rough. We don't want to risk the rough with a great left. The idea here is just to play a safe curl shot and control the ball onto the green so that we're putting for the eagle. Mid distance, 0 elevation, as this one is quite a flat shot, as you can see there. And then here I'm going with almost 1 ball of curl to the left. So choose the wood club that gives you the backspin and the curl. We're not too worried about distance, because here I was setting up at mid with a power 3 ball, but we're getting it safely onto the green and securing the eagle with a nice short to mid-range putt. Here on this par 3, I like to play a no movement target, so I just leave the target where it is first and then add spin according to the wind angle I've got. Here I'm going with 2.8 backspin and half a bar of right spin. Going with a navigator, this green, as you can see, slopes downhill from the fairway right to the back of the green. If you come in too hot, you will roll over the rocks and into the water. Mid plus 20 here, only move your target when it is time to make your adjustment, because the game very, very nicely loads the target smack bang in the middle of that fairway pad. So mid plus 20, this is all about getting the backspin correct. In tailwind you will need 3 to 4 bars of backspin, so choose a long iron that gives you that amount of backspin. Even if it's a low level Grim Reaper, you've still got a better chance than a long iron with only 1 bar of backspin. So make sure you got enough backspin here. Mid plus 20, in for the hole in one. This par 4 is going to be drivable if you want to play aggressively. Of course, you don't have to do this, but if you've got the wind angle for it, it is worth a go. With a berserker, 4.5 top spin, 2 left spin, stretching out, only at max rest, not stretching out, but make sure I'm at max, pointing down the middle of the fairway. The problem here is if you are too far to the right, the fairway slopes down to the right and will roll you off into the rough. Max plus 10, power 5. If you haven't got the wind angle or desire to play aggressively, then you just play a safe shot over the rough and down the fairway and leave yourself with a short iron approach. Going with a little bit of overpower and half a ball of curl to the left. This is important to take a token though if you want to play aggressive shots like this. Try and get something dialed in or tweak and get a feel for how the shot plays, because like I said, we've got to play a very narrow line, just missing the edge of the water but staying on the fairway can leave you an easy wedge for the eagle. On to the final par 5, and I would advise you go with a kingmaker here. 3.2 top spin and 3 right spin, and we have level crosswind here, but we're only at mid distance of club, so even in headwind you can use more topspin and still adjust without needing any overpower. Aiming level with the end sign on the right hand side, and we're going to adjust mid plus 10, and the idea is just to bounce over the rough and lay up towards the end of the second fairway, so we can play a shot with our wood club to get safely onto the green. So mid plus 10, a little bit of curl to the right as the wind is going to push us right to left in this crosswind angle, hitting perfect, and we're going to bounce over very comfortably. Once on that fairway, then on the next fairway, and we're rolling towards the end of it without risking the rough. Drive distance of around 300 yards. Second shot, with the drive at that distance, you can play with the big dog directly over the rough. So we're going to go with around 3 backspin and always 3 left spin. And the idea here is to set up at max and then just get ourselves safely onto the green. If you're a little bit short and you've got tailwind, you can of course stretch out, adjust and then push back up the rings you needed to get that landing point on the fairway. In headwind angles you may need to land before the fairway that we're aiming on here and modify your spin and bounce over the rough to the green area instead to leave a wedge. Max plus 0, half a ball of curl to the left and hit perfect, not risking the trees and we're not risking the rough, bouncing nicely on the fairway, onto the green. You might be lucky with an albatross, but if not, a very short putt for your eagle on this par 5. Thanks very much for watching this video here on the channel. If it has helped you in any way, please consider sharing it amongst your friends and clanmates in the game. Join us also on Facebook. Head over there, search for BK Golf Clash and join our free group. Loads of members there sharing shots. Free guides are posted, as well as loads of other great Golf Clash resources. So check us out there. You can join in the discussion and also leave feedback on the game in general. Finally, if you wish to help support the channel and keep the content free for everybody, please consider becoming a Patreon member. The link is in the video description down below. Good luck, see you soon, bye for now.